All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today we are diving deep into the real, kind of brutal world of office politics. We're going to talk about crafting a grand strategy so you don't just survive, you actually win the war for your career.
So let me ask you something, and this might hit a little close to home. Have you ever walked out of a meeting where your boss was just praising your creative input, but as you're walking back to your desk, you just have this knot in your stomach, right? Your brain heard the words, the praise, but your gut, that old animal part of you, is just screaming that something is seriously off.
Yeah, if you're nodding along right now, there's a name for that feeling. You are in what's called tactical hell, and it's a state of just constant, exhausting reaction. You're so busy putting out all these little fires, answering every single email, trying to read every subtle mood shift, that you completely lose sight of the bigger picture. You can't even see the real battlefield of your career anymore.
So, yeah, welcome to tactical hell. When you're in this state, you're not a strategist, not even close. You're basically a loyal pawn, kept busy with endless little fights, endless little skirmishes, so you never ever get a chance to just look up and see the entire war being waged all around you.
So why? Why do we get stuck in this place? Well, the core of the problem is that human beings, we operate with two completely different languages. And the thing is, most of us are only paying attention to one of them, the one that's spoken out loud. And this slide just lays out the conflict perfectly. See, on one side, you've got what's called the Christian mask. That's all the polite, professional, socially acceptable stuff people say. Great job, we really value your growth. But then, on the other side, you have what Machiavelli called the effective truth. And that's what their actions actually reveal. They say they value your growth, but have they ever actually put you in charge of a big project?
And look, this isn't some new age corporate mumbo jumbo. This is a timeless truth about human nature. I mean, as the source material points out, Machiavelli saw that when real power is on the line, even the most holy, pious leaders, they act with brutal self-interest. The effective truth, the truth of their actions, always, and I mean always wins. Okay, so how in the world do we climb out of tactical hell? Well, we have to learn to decode that effective truth. And this requires a huge shift in where we put our attention. We have to stop obsessing over the words people say and start watching, really meticulously watching what they do. You basically have to become a detective of nonverbal cues. See, words are super easy to fake, but the body almost never lies. The source calls these the little grains of sand that give everything away. Think about it. Have you ever seen those dead eyes on a boss while they're praising you? Or a smile that's just a twitch of the mouth with absolutely no warmth behind it? Even something as small as a quick, dismissive goodbye versus one that lingers. That tells you everything you need to know about their real level of respect for you. All right, so once you can see the truth, you need the right tools to actually do something about it. This is your grand strategy. This is the toolkit that helps you go from being that reactive pawn to a proactive player in the game. And the first, most fundamental rule of all, law number 1 is never outshine the master. This is, without a doubt, the single biggest and most common strategic mistake that talented, ambitious people make. So why is this so important? Because your talent, your confidence, your brilliant ideas, they don't always inspire admiration in the people above you. A lot of the time, they inspire fear and insecurity. See, their main goal isn't always the company's success. It's to feel, as the source puts it, comfortably superior. So your strategic job then is to make them look more brilliant, even if it means giving them credit for your best ideas. And this leads us to a huge strategic shift. If you want something, a raise, a promotion, whatever, you have to stop appealing to your boss's sense of fairness or their mercy. That is a trap. All it does is make you look weak and dependent, and it gives them a sense of power by denying you. Instead, you use a two-step strategic appeal. It's simple. First, you figure out their thumbscrew. What's that one specific insecurity, that deep down need, that hidden desire that really truly drives them? And second, you frame your request entirely around how helping you serves their self-interest. It's never about what you deserve. It's always about what they get out of it. And this slide just illustrates it so perfectly. Let's say your boss is a narcissist who just lives for drama and feeling important. You don't ask for help with a boring project, no. You frame it as a glorious crusade against a common enemy that will make them look like a hero. Or if they're a dandy, someone who's obsessed with their public image, you show them exactly how your success is going to make them look amazing to the board. You've got to learn to speak their secret language of self-interest. Now, all of these tactics, they're not just one-off tricks. They're all part of a much larger campaign. This is all about winning the long war. The real goal here isn't to get into constant draining battles every day. It's to achieve a state of mastery over the game itself. A true masterstroke, a true strategic victory, is one that's won with minimum bloodshed. It's about developing such a deep, subtle understanding of the power dynamics, that whole unspoken hierarchy, that you get what you want without ever having to fight an open battle. Why? Because you've already won before it even starts. And let's be absolutely crystal clear about something here. The point of this strategy isn't to turn you into some ruthless, manipulative mafia don. It's about becoming a master strategist of your own life. It's about getting to a place of personal freedom where you're no longer just a victim of other people's games and secret agendas. Which brings us right to the end, to the one crucial question you have to ask yourself. Now that you can see the battlefield for what it really is, are you going to be a loyal pawn, moved around the board by forces you can't control? Or are you ready to become a player and start directing your own campaign? The choice, as always, is yours.